So, this is episode 8 of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. Joe?
Well, I guess
I would...
that about sums it up.
I'd be remiss if I didn't...
We had a dog chewing on something in the background. There's One Tree Hill playing on your TV.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, Joe.
I feel like the internet is really kicking us around lately.
The internet, Joe? I just played 21 seconds of Somebody Kill Me Please by Adam Sandler. This hasn't been what I would call a good day, or we're not holding on for one more day with the hope of a better tomorrow, or thinking positively. It's been like, it's the hardest we've ever had to work to post a fucking podcast.
Yeah, because it's just the people, nobody wants us.
No,
no one wants us around.
We're the Chad Pennington of the podcast world.
We can't do videos on YouTube longer than 15 minutes, as per Ring of Honor. So
nobody wants to look at us for 15 minutes.
All right, well, that's...
If we could post 15 minutes of Hunter chewing on a chew toy,
I feel like that'd go viral pretty quick.
it would go viral. It would make us millions. Why am I not doing that right now? Oh, because my job is going so well. I don't want to leave it.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, speaking of Hunter, so
we can't do that.
We can't.
Blog Talk Radio only allows you to record for a span of 2 minutes and 30 seconds between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Very tight. Well, the good news is we bought a microphone for Blog Talk Radio.
Yes, we did. I'm
talking to a $130 silver penis right now. Just saying.
And sure enough, Blog Talk Radio gives you two options. It's either call in via phone or plug in through a microphone on your laptop. And apparently that's a premium feature.
I can't, in good conscience, throw any more money into the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast without a little bit of a return.
Actually, maybe can we get some donations?
Yeah, go fund me so Joe and I don't kill ourselves. There you go. If we reach $27 by tomorrow, Joe's not going to put a bullet in his head. Can you make that promise?
Well, we'll see how the rest of this podcast goes. I can't make any promises.
So. I got nothing.
I got nothing to give anybody.
He gave it all, man. A man with nothing to lose is a scary individual. But we spent 3 minutes talking about ourselves.
Yeah. Hopefully this podcast winds up on the internet somewhere. I guess that's really all I can.
I swear to God, if it doesn't,
it's.
Where are we now? What's our site? Podbean?
That's the one that's on my screen. Apparently, I've got 49 meg of space to upload, so let's make sure we keep.
I'm over here flicking the Podbean, if you know what I'm saying. Speaking of beans, Joe, we had Joe and I. We enjoyed a nice string bean and chicken dinner to prepare ourselves for what is effectively the most difficult.
Was it chicken piccata?
It wasn't. It was chicken. Chicken marsala.
Chicken. All right, there you go.
Chicken marsala. No, grilled chicken. We eat healthy here. You know, we have an image to uphold.
It's all about the protein.
You saw the picture of the two guys with the gray hair and no future? That's us. We're trying to keep that up for the people.
That was a mirror.
That was
a mirror.
It was a lug nut. That was me. Anyway, we just finished watching Raw. Where do you want to start, Joe? There's so much going on literally in my mind right now. I don't even know.
I'm actually pretty upset about
the fact that we watched 31 minutes of Raw and we watched an hour and a half PWG. That's a shoot. That's a shoot.
I'm not upset about that, actually.
No, I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I think the parts of Raw that we watched, though, weren't that bad.
All 2 seconds?
I remember.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought the Rollins promo was good at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Until, he brought it full circle at the end.
What else was good? Oh, the match with Neville was really good.
Yeah, right? I think have you seen Neville in a bad match lately?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen Rollins in a bad match?
I don't know.
I would say Neville's a little more consistent, because he doesn't
more of a.
He doesn't have the. I wonder what happened to J&J Security.
I don't know. I know Jamie Noble broke his ribs or something like that because of Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar's a dick.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is Ronda Rousey won the other night.
Well, we're not liking that.
No, Joe, we're not liking.
What about what's his name? Shogun.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what?
there you go.
Yeah, I'm a bit. Yeah, Shogun winning. I feel better about that. I'm smiling again.
I'm learning stuff.
It was also the Roddy Piper tribute show.
Yeah, the video was nice. I mean, they always do a nice
yeah.
job with those things. So
It was well done. It was
kind of rough stretch here with Dusty Rhodes passing away, and then Roddy Piper not long after that. Just
it's
keep chipping away at the childhood memories. It's good.
That's all we got.
That's great.
Oh, that's why we have the network, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is why we have the network. So it's good. So yeah, I mean they did a nice job with that, and the Rollins promo and the match with Neville right after that was solid. I thought.
What else did you watch of Raw, Joe?
Well,
I know you were clamoring for the Divas match.
We did. No, that wasn't.
No, that wasn't it?
That wasn't me. We did watch the Miz TV segment with Kevin Owens and Cesaro because we like Owens and Cesaro.
Yep.
Which I thought that was good enough for what it was. I mean, I think just the fact that we're both fans of those guys kind of makes us look forward to the feud in general. So
I know you don't watch SmackDown. You're not a
I'm anti-SmackDown.
Anti-SmackDown. Not a SmackDown-ite, but it was good to see the main event of SmackDown last week was Rollins and Kevin Owens versus Cesaro and Dean Ambrose, which was kind of weird. But that was I thought they put on an awesome match, and all four of those guys were really they work super well together. It would make sense that you don't have Kevin Owens wrestle on Raw then. Wait, does it? No. Natural segue, but we did have how many Divas matches too?
I think there was 2 Divas matches from what I'm
okay with the
saw.
Divas matches as long as they don't involve Nikki or Brie or Alicia Fox or anybody but Charlotte and Becky Lynch and Sasha
Banks.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the Divas matches as long as you are fast forwarding them on DVR. I think as long as we're doing that.
I think you just alienated our one fan.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I?
Wait, we alienated?
The Divas matches on Victory.
No, we still have. Now we have like half of a fan. So, 87% of one fan.
Growing the fan base.
Growing the fan base. But hey, why don't you go on and do a Hulk Hogan rant and really alienate the rest of them?
Oh, okay. Lord help us. We don't want to be doing that.
No,
we can't be doing that.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, quick little segue. Get off of that topic. He was supposed to be on the Stone Cold podcast tonight.
Yes.
But instead he was replaced with Paige. Man, she's got a lot of stories from the road of her experience, huh?
Yeah.
Really interesting to hear Paige's point of view on the Taz versus Mike Awesome 1998 angle.
Yeah.
I think 3.
Yeah.
Christ. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not a...
Also, actually, sorry to cut you off, but you brought it up too with the Roddy Piper... the Roddy Piper tribute. They were, WWE has distanced themselves, to say the least, from Hulk Hogan. So to see him in a few of the Roddy Piper images of the tribute video was interesting. But he wasn't in any of the videos, like you said. So.
Right, yeah. A couple, I think, of still images or something like that, where from like WrestleMania 1, I assume, is probably what it was from.
They could have just put like a cutout of somebody over him. Like Brother Love. Or
maybe like a Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. Oh, no, you mean like a cut instead of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, okay. Instead of, like Hunter, for example.
Yeah.
We could have got a Hunter.
Single H.
Single H, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to introduce him the next webcast.
Okay.
Because I feel like if Hunter is ratings, and what we're lacking is ratings. So, anybody listening.
This feels like a good time to plug all of our social media outlets.
And that's why I make a good team. Go for it.
Well, we got the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast Facebook page.
Yep, for sure.
We're been a little stagnant there in terms of people liking it, so we can appreciate anybody who...
What is it about me that you think people don't like?
I think the only thing about you that people don't like is the fact that I'm your friend. That's probably the only thing I can think of that's really bringing you down in the world right now.
That's not true. Maybe it's a self-deprecation. Maybe people... Or people actually who feel bad about themselves listen to us to feel better.
The lack of a female presence. But...
Lack
of a female presence.
That's interesting. Maybe we could do something to change that.
Yeah. You want to go to Blush?
I mean...
Can we get a free advertisement for Blush on Vets Highway in Comac?
The Angry Amish Warrior Roadkill works at Blush. And there's your professional wrestling segue.
Full circle.
That's what we call a segue. Let's get back. Should we get back to wrestling for now?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, and this is probably bad to say on our podcast.
You don't want to talk about wrestling anymore.
No. It wasn't Brock Lesnar supposed to be on the show tonight? And either we missed it or we just completely skipped it, because I'm pretty sure Lesnar and Heyman were on the show.
Yeah.
This probably doesn't really do any good for our credibility in terms of watching pro wrestling, but we fast-forwarded maybe through that by accident, and I don't really remember what he was supposed to do. I know him and Heyman were supposed to be on the show in some capacity. I don't think The Undertaker was scheduled from what I heard. So I think Lesnar and Heyman were supposed to be on. I don't know what happened. We'll have to figure out, I guess, or go back and watch and see what the deal was with that.
Well, yeah, that's based upon the recap that I'm reading right now. We did happen to miss Brock Lesnar on the show. Now, leading up to his match with The Undertaker, what are you hoping to get out of that match? What are you hoping to get out of that angle?
I have no hopes for it at this point. I feel like it's 99%, if not greater than that, likelihood that Undertaker will win the match clean. To get his, revenge from losing at WrestleMania a year and a half ago. And
what does that do for Brock Lesnar?
I think it does pretty much nothing for both guys.
Okay.
I assume that they're both going to go away and disappear for months, if not longer than that. Undertaker, I would imagine, would not be back until Mania 32, or to set up Mania 32. And I would think Lesnar would probably be off at least until Survivor Series, if not the Rumble itself. Although he is supposed to work a house show at Madison Square Garden in a couple of months.
Yeah,
So-
which was interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's my guess, is that that'll be that match, and then both guys will go away for an extended period of time, and people will kind of forget, and then they'll both have different feuds going for them.
And then somebody random is going to call it The Undertaker,
Yeah, the same formula, as it were, as it's been in the past. So I think that's where that's heading.
Speaking of formulas, we're going to introduce a little bit of more consistency to the All Night Long Wrestling podcast. No, we're not going to do that.
We can do that.
We're going to freestyle.
I'm interested to see where you're going with this.
I was hoping you would take over. I was reading online, and people love lists. You ever go to BuzzFeed where you see some middle-aged woman posting some shit on top 10 things about snail gel that people like? I click on those links, Joe.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they have a catchy title. Like, you'll never believe what this person said, or you'll never believe this shit. And every single time, I click on it. Now, you're probably sitting here, all one of you, listening to the All Night Long Wrestling podcast, wondering, I wonder where they're going to go with this. So now every week, because, people value our opinions in life, and money, relationships, house cleaning, I feel like we offer a lot. We're wide spectrum, if you will. So this week,
I feel like we're just pushing people towards a suicide hotline.
or making them feel a lot better about themselves. But this week, we are going to introduce the 5 count. And this week, now we prepared the 5 count, but we did not even discuss what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to throw this out there, spitballing.
Okay.
Joe has no idea. I have no idea. I didn't even come up with it yet. Joe, I'm going to ask for your top 5 managers of all time.
Top 5 managers of all time.
Top 5 managers of all time off the top of your head.
Am I counting down from 5 to 1, or 1 to which one?
I think you should build suspense. Maybe you go 5, I go 5, you go 4, I go 4.
Sure.
Okay. Start.
Number 5, I will say, is Jim Cornette.
Okay. Do you want to
Do
say
we
why?
establish that a
Just
little?
give it a little bit.
I think
God knows people are already sick of hearing us, so you might as well.
I mean, as far as Cornette goes, in short, I would say, just as a manager, personality, he was effective in terms of being annoying with his promos and things like that. I think what I remember him the most for is managing teams like the Midnight Express, stuff like that.
Yep.
He did have a run in the WWF back in the 90s.
Heavenly Bodies, right?
Yeah, Heavenly Bodies, and I think
was Stan Lane in the Heavenly Bodies?
I think for a period of time he was. And then I think he managed Yokozuna at one point along with Mr. Fuji.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that was his thing. I don't know that he necessarily stacks up with the other folks in the top 4 that I have, but I thought he's a good manager, a memorable guy. So
I'll agree with you on that. And now this is tough because you have to, it's very, very, very raw here.
Right off the cuff.
Very raw.
Absolutely.
Number 5, I'll go with Paul Bearer. He brought a ton to the Undertaker. He brought the Undertaker didn't speak. He spoke for the Undertaker. He built the feuds for the Undertaker. He was important. The only reason I don't rank him any higher than 5 is because he didn't have any other serious clients, if you will, aside from Mankind and the Executioner and Kane. But he was known for the Undertaker, and if he could have varied out, but that was the gimmick. And Paul Bearer, rest in peace. He did wonderful things. But I put him at 5.
okay. I go number 4.
Yeah. I'm going to copy the rest of your 4 because I already forgot everybody else.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I think, and we were talking about it the other day a little bit. I guess I would probably have J.J. Dillon in my top 5 in number 4.
Damn it.
Just because of his association with the Horsemen as
With
the
the
greatest.
how many Horsemen?
The 4.
Was that you did on purpose?
Horsemen, yeah.
You did on purpose?
Ah.
Put him at 4?
Sure. We can go with that. I can make myself sound clever. Yes, I mean, I think it's sort of self-explanatory. He was the manager of the most well-known faction in the history of wrestling.
The greatest faction of all time.
So he's my number 4. What about you?
Number 4, I'm going to go with Mr. Fuji.
Okay.
Mr. Fuji, 2 of the most popular tag teams late 80s he brought to the table in Demolition and the Powers of Pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was integral in, the switch, Demolition from babyface to heels and vice versa. And then, for 10 years he was in the WWE. He also did that triathlon with, remember the triathlon segment with Bobby the Brain Heenan?
There's a Fuji Vice segment.
The Fuji Vice segment, yeah. He transcended the Miami Vice culture.
There you go.
And then, in terms of Yokozuna and whatnot, too. So I give number 4 to Mr. Fuji.
All right, sounds good. I think if I'm going number 3, I'm going to go Jimmy Hart.
The Mouth of the Northwest.
But
Wait a second.
big fan of Jimmy Hart. Managed the Hart Foundation. They were tag team champions. He managed...
Who's that guy in the Hart Foundation that you love?
Jim the Anvil Neidhart. That's him. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say Bret
And
Hart.
the other guy. Oh, that's his name, yeah. I don't remember him much at all.
Anyway.
From my childhood.
Anyway.
He managed the Hart Foundation. He managed the Honky Tonk Man.
Okay.
A couple other guys around that time, Nasty Boys, Great Event, a lot of teams and guys that were champions of various things.
I thought actually you were such a Shawn Michaels mark. You were going to say Super Sock Jose Lothario. That's how big of a mark you were. But.
No, but I think Jimmy Hart had a lot of good run in the 80s and early 90s. He ended up moving on to managing Hulk Hogan when he turned face and had a run there. Had an extended run in WCW as a heel after that. Dungeon of Doom, managed the Giant, stuff like that. So
I forgot about all that.
Yeah,
Yeti,
I just watched Great American Bash '96 yesterday, so it's fresh in the mind. But
Gotcha.
so I thought he had a lot of success, and he's a guy that kind of still pops around today on TV every once in a while. He's kind of an entertaining,
a lot of throwback
character.
shows.
Yeah. So he's
my number 3, I'm going to go with J.J. Dillon, of course, for the mentions spoken above. Also, what J.J. Dillon was able to do, he, you had 4 guys, well, 3 guys, sometimes 4 guys in the Horsemen that could all talk. You had Arn Anderson who cut just vicious promos, Ric Flair who stole the show, and then you had Tully Blanchard who was like the cool guy who could still talk and he had chicks all over him. And for him to be able to, I wouldn't say manage them, but bring them all together, and then the promos would usually go, he would start the promo by talking about what's going to happen that night, and then whoever wrestled that night would cut the promo on their opponent or whatnot, and he brought it all together, and he was one of my favorites of all time. I'm going to go number 2 because I feel like if you keep going and then I go, it looks like I'm stealing your ideas.
okay.
So number 2, I'm going with Paul Heyman. What he's done with Brock is, he's there were weeks at a time where Brock Lesnar wasn't on the show, and people gave a shit about Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns because of what Paul Heyman was able to say.
Sure.
So that was he from the Dangerous Alliance in 1989, 1990 till now. Paul Heyman has been, and for what he did with ECW, he was kind of Sabu's manager, kind of not for a while. And he's the best promo guy. Sounds him and Bray Wyatt, I would say right now, like listening to, but I just fear that they're going to continually overuse Paul Heyman, and he's going to become a commodity. But until then, I'd say number 2 is Paul Heyman.
Okay. I think our top 2 are going to be the same. I feel like
that too.
So he would have been number 2 on my list for all the reasons that you mentioned. I don't think I need to take it any further than that. And I'm gonna figure
your number one is my number one, of
Yeah,
course.
so-
Go ahead. I just want to say I feel like he's leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else.
Yeah,
Go for
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Best of all time.
Yep. I think is hands down the best manager in the history of the business. Obviously, various reasons, right? I mean, the guys he managed involved in the main storylines with a lot of main event guys. Andre the Giant, Rick Rude. The whole Heenan family had the Brainbusters for a while.
He introduced the Brainbusters in the WWE show.
So, eventually...
Later on, Mr. Perfect, Ric Flair.
Yeah, and Flair, I was just going to say that. Yeah, he moved on to him. And then, obviously, very effective as a commentator as well.
Him and Gorilla Monsoon were the best
Yeah.
commentary team known to man.
He's just, a guy that got a lot of heat, when he was at ringside and fans wanted to see him get his butt kicked. And,
That's what a good manager does,
Yeah, so he did a lot of stuff. So, to me, he's...
and you never got sick of him. He always did something new. He was always funny. It wasn't the same shtick over and over and over again. The Weasel suit stuff with the Ultimate Warrior was awesome.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it was pretty successful.
It's first 5 count. First 5
Yeah,
count.
that was 3 ain't enough, Joe. We need 5.
We'll take suggestions for future 5 counts. So where can we take those suggestions, Mike?
You know what I feel like we need? We need a social media expert. Somebody who's younger than we are, more attractive, smarter.
Falls asleep during our podcast.
Falls asleep during our podcasts, for sure. We definitely need somebody along.
Someone just like that. I think that would be...
Yeah.
That would be...
if anybody wants to be our social media liaison, you can get at us at Twitter at NYEnforcer and
at Joe GK.
At Joe.
How about the at All Night Long WP?
GK. Oh, I forgot we have that yet. Well, actually, we really don't have that yet because nobody's running it. But no, at All Night Long WP.
It exists.
Or on Facebook.
If you search the interwebs on the Twitter machine and you put in All Night Long WP, you will see our Twitter feed.
True, and we're going to be more active on there.
We have no posts.
We're just waiting.
We're just kind of waiting. We'll let things settle in a little bit. But we'd appreciate the follows and any tweets at us for suggestions,
comments, concerns, anything like
for top
that.
5 lists. This is all really just bogus because no one's going to send us any information on what they want to see. But
if they do, we'll be here.
Sometimes it's nice to pretend.
For sure. Speaking of pretending, I don't know where I'm going with that. They just, I don't want to say they completed the card, but the card for the upcoming Field of Honor show for Ring of Honor is taking shape, and it looks off the charts.
There's that it's coming up in a few weeks in Brooklyn. It's there's a big wrestling weekend over in Brooklyn. Saturday night, the 22nd. Is that what it is?
It was 22nd. Yes, it is. We also discussed why we were not going to go to the WWE show over the Ring of Honor show. We have specific reasons. We're taking a stand.
Yes.
Support local business. Real quick, there was a story. The WWE has, I don't want to say bought, but they have taken a lot of Ring of Honor's venues out from underneath them. So it's going to be more difficult for Ring of Honor to run shows. On top of that, they definitely pulled a pretty dirty bait and switch by bringing in New Japan star and Ring of Honor alumni Jushin Thunder Liger for the NXT taping. But you have him wrestling Tyler Breeze. Questionable decision.
Interesting choice
on their part, from my point of view. However, that show, excuse me, that NXT show does look like it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, I mean they have decent cards on paper. I mean personally, I'd still prefer the Ring of Honor card from that night. As far as the
Ring of Honor card, it looks like there's no title matches. There are not going to be. Actually, no, there is the War Machine. Yeah, War Machine versus. No, that's not a title match though.
No, I think it's. I don't know who the Addiction's fighting that night. Is that who they're fighting, or are they even on the card?
They haven't announced a lot of the card. There's still the Young Bucks on there.
Yeah.
The Addiction, Roppongi Vice, they're going to be on there. As of right now, there are no title matches. The main event is Red Dragon versus Jay Lethal and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Right.
Aside from that, you have Roderick Strong versus Kazuchika Okada. You have the Briscoe Brothers
versus the Addiction.
No,
I'm sorry.
The Briscoe
versus
Brothers
Time Splitters.
versus Time Splitters.
Yeah.
And you have Davey Boy Smith Junior.
Oh, the Killer Elite Squad.
Killer Elite Squad against War Machine.
Yeah, and I think isn't it Young Bucks versus Roppongi Vice on that show, or no?
No, they haven't. I just checked the card today.
They haven't.
They haven't said they're still on there. But I mean, to get a chance to watch Okada wrestle in America and wrestle Roderick Strong, I mean, two guys. I can't see two guys that are having a better year than them two. So it should be a really good card, top to bottom.
Yeah. So that should be pretty exciting. So we're gonna be going to that show, not going to the NXT show the same night, and then the following night is SummerSlam at the Barclays Center.
Summerfest.
The Summerfest.
Summerfestlemania. Summersham.
Yes. At the Barclays. It's a 4-hour extravaganza.
Jesus.
Also, The Cure for Insomnia.
How many songs is Kid Rock gonna sing in this 4 hours?
I was kind of hoping they'd bring CeeLo Green back. That was what I was hoping for.
Remember that? Is that WrestleMania?
I think it was actually SummerSlam 2011, and why do I know that? Because it was playing last night when I went to sleep on the network.
You were listening? Oh, I thought you meant the song. I was going to ask what you were listening to
before
bed last night.
No, I listened to that first thing in the morning when I get up. Yeah, I gotta get myself.
Forget you. Yeah,
that's
a good song.
Yeah, it's
pumps
the way to go.
day.
Yeah.
What are the matches right now announced for SummerSlam? You have Cesaro versus Kevin Owens, which stop right there.
It looks like it's going to be Cesaro Owens. They have obviously Lesnar versus Undertaker. They officially announced Rollins versus Cena with both titles on the line. So there's that. I'm assuming they're going to do primetime players against New Day again, or in some tag team.
We did fast forward a Lucha Dragons match tonight too.
Yeah, so maybe there's something going on. Maybe they'll have a couple teams involved there. They're going to do some combination of
Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt and Harper.
Yeah,
2-on-2 in some kind of match would be cool.
Yeah,
put them in a cage. That'd be pretty sick.
So
SummerSlam was always like the big for the cage matches. I feel like back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah, I think there was. So that's what the card's looking like so far. I mean, we kind of touched a little bit earlier on the Lesnar Undertaker stuff, and I don't know. We'll see how they do with it. I mean, 4 hours is a long show for SummerSlam, but yeah.
Unless you put an NXT match on there, that would really. Speaking of the NXT, I watched NXT last week for the first time in a long time. I'm trying to keep up with it. It's just a lot, it's a lot of wrestling to keep up with. Enzo and Big Cass are, again, the most over tag team they have, and they lost clean to Dawson and what's his name? The guy had a sick finisher. It was, I forget the name of the finisher, but it was like a 3D, but instead of a cutter on the end, he hit him with the lung blower. Or actually a gut. What do they call lung blowers from the back? Code breaker. Sorry.
Right.
So it's like lift up 3D into a code breaker, and it was a sick finisher. But like, why are Enzo and Big Cass losing?
I don't know. There's I've been reading that I guess the last week or so that they've been up on the main roster doing some shows. I don't know how that's going, but I heard that so I guess potentially that might lead to them getting a call up to the main roster where they could then job in.
To the main roster have won a couple of matches in NXT.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how
can't wait for the
I
call
am.
up Bull Dempsey with his Buddy Rose blow away diet, new kind of thing they're doing. But that one's for all you old timers. That's a 1988 joke. That's
the old Bastion Booger situation.
Yeah, Bastion Booger for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, I'd like to see those guys be successful on the main roster because they're a very entertaining act. But,
even Enzo's a manager.
Yeah. They remind me like the New Age Outlaws in some fashion, like because
they remind New Age Outlaws and Shawn and Diesel. I feel
Yeah,
like Shawn and Diesel with the big guy, little guy, and they do the rocket launcher off top rope.
So I mean that's the. Hopefully they come up soon. But outside of that, I think that covers a lot of stuff that's coming up in the next couple of weeks.
There's another segment that we're going to introduce today.
Today.
I'm going to do it today.
We're doing it right off the cuff.
We're doing. If anybody's seen the Family Guy movie, Peter Griffin is notorious for the "You know what really grinds my gears" segment. Joe will get 60 seconds. I'm sorry.
60 minutes.
And I will. I could flow. What's really pissing me off in 60 minutes?
I'm going to read an Edgar Allan Poe.
And we will each get 60 minutes to rant about what is bothering you today, professional wrestling wise.
It's an Iron Man segment.
It's an Iron Man segment in the world of professional wrestling.
60 seconds to what's bothering me in the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
I'm ready to go. I mean, are you?
I got the timer.
You jumping? Oh, you're giving me a timer. Okay.
I'm giving you a timer.
Do you have any angry music I can start with?
Go.
60 seconds on what's bugging me the most about professional
55
wrestling.
seconds now.
Great, I already lost like 7 seconds. This is great.
8. Yeah.
Champions that do jobs in non-title matches, that really burns me up. Specifically last week on Raw, Seth Rollins tapped out clean to John Cena in the main event, only to lead to him then fighting Cena again in a couple of weeks. If I'm a fan, why would I want to watch that match again? I just saw John Cena beat Seth Rollins clean, so he's not like he's getting his revenge on him in any fashion. Both titles are on the line. John Cena's been the champion 15 times already. As a casual viewer, what's the hook to get people involved with wanting to see that? You would think that you'd want to make your champion strong and have them not lose matches that frequently. So that's one example. I mean, we can go on and on and on about guys who are champions that continue to lose in different, in the WWE. Like, I mean, I don't even know. Not John Cena, obviously.
And time.
But
How do you feel about that?
really,
That was 60 seconds. Did you get it off your chest?
I got a little bit off my chest. It
There
feels,
was more?
Well, there's a lot of pressure. So 60
There was
seconds.
a lot of pressure. I don't even know what to talk about. I mean, there's so many things that I could discuss in 60 seconds. I don't even know where to begin. You really you went for the one that I was really thinking about most.
That was
kind
one
of
you
frustrating.
know?
That was what I was looking at. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's time for you now to go. What is
Okay.
what is happening here?
But you gotta press the start button when you're ready.
Are you ready? Is the question.
I will. I feel like by the time you press the start button, something will come into my mind.
Well, it just started, buddy.
Okay, what really grinds my gears? 60 seconds I have. When you're watching Monday Night Raw, it's 2015, everybody's got a DVR. What I don't need on Monday Night Raw is 35 replays at 9 o'clock of what happened from 8 to 9 o'clock and at 10 o'clock from what happened from 8 to 10 o'clock. I do not need to see the same thing over and over and over again. I understand you're trying to fill time. If you're trying to fill time, cut the show down to 2 hours. That way when the show is 2 hours and you have a special event, which is no longer a pay-per-view, on Sunday night, a 3-hour event, you're going to sit there and you're going to want to watch it because you're not used to putting 5 hours in front of the TV watching wrestling every single week. Or if you are going to have a 3-hour show on Raw every single week, have a couple more matches. I want to see. The segments are fine, but I don't want to see the replays. Every 20 minutes I saw a replay of John Cena getting kneed in the face tonight. I understand he broke his nose. I understand it was a lot. But the last thing I want to do is watch what I already watched last week.
Well, buddy, your time is up. The timer has gone off.
I feel better.
You feel a little better
I feel like I
about
got
that?
it off my chest. Yeah.
All right, well, that's good.
Do you, I mean, am I wrong?
Do you want to eat some Reese's Puffs?
I would love it. Yeah, let's get some Reese's Puffs. Maybe some Honey Nut Cheerios.
Let's get weird.
Wonder if Hunter's hungry. Is Hunter hungry? Oh,
Let's
look
get
at
weird. Okay, I got flipped off during my own podcast.
that.
That's good.
Yeah, it's lots of love and respect.
Everything's really coming up aces, Mikey.
Well,
Did you do anything else want to happen? Do you want to kick me in the nuts while we're still on the air? So you want to just...
I'm gonna go outside and slash your tires just to let you know.
Let's do it. Let's get nuts.
Let's kill some birds. I'm
I'm
pumped.
stoked.
How you gonna wake up tomorrow, Joe? You gonna wake up listening to?
Uncomfortable and tight. That's how I'm going to wake up tomorrow.
That's actually how I go to bed. Take that however you will. How you doing?
Insider info.
The insider info. I dream a lot. Anyway, that's all I got. You got anything? What's going on this week? Something on,
Do you know what do we do? Like, do you know how to like properly clean this microphone? Is there like care for it that we need to do?
I don't know.
Since
There's
it's
a
actually-
lot of my beard hair on the microphone. I feel
Well,
like.
that's all right. I mean,
And actually,
it's-
Hunter licked it before too. Hunter's a dog, in case people. I mean, we've referred to him by his name, but he's
Hunter
a
the dog.
Hunter the dog.
Single H.
Say, as Joe calls him, Single H. He's more over than Triple H. I'll tell you that much.
He is.
Hunter equals ratings.
He's pretty over.
I just wish we had a female.
The
point
chicks
of view.
dig Hunter. I
Chicks
think
dig
it's
Hunter, yeah.
Really.
What's it going to take for us to get a female point of view on this podcast?
I don't know. I feel like we're going in the wrong direction with that whole thing right now.
So do I.
As per, I got flipped off about a minute and a half ago. So,
It's true. Also, people fell asleep during our podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not watching a State of the Union address. No, I'm watching a Sham Wow infomercial. People are.
I'm also not watching One Tree Hill. That's not
Are
happening
you sure?
anymore.
Because it looks like there's some. Oh, look, a reality show on
Oh,
television.
it was Chad Michael Murray. That's
Yeah,
good.
CMM.
That's great.
Yeah, good old Chad Michael Murray. Have you seen his abs lately?
No, I don't
The
watch.
guy looks like he does the ab roller
No.
3 hours a day.
You know what? I think I'm a Dawson's Creek. Dawson's Creek was my preferred.
I don't want
show.
to wait
Yeah.
for our lives
There were some beautiful babies on that show. Speaking of babies, can we give a shout out?
Babies, let's talk about the first baby born into the Four Horsemen.
The baby horseman.
The baby horseman, Baby K himself, Baby BK. He's already banging senoritas, sipping margaritas. The kid's been out of the womb for 2 weeks. He's wearing a size 7 shoe. He was just drafted by the Patriots.
He's born into greatness. That's just what it was.
It's in his blood. When you're born into a faction like the Horsemen, we just got a picture of him throwing up the force.
Yeah.
Literally made my day. I've actually got nothing left to live for. As long as he's in the war. And the true story, I brought him, the day he was born, I brought a Four Horsemen t-shirt for him. So I wrapped that little bundle of joy up in the greatness that is the Four Horsemen, and I bestowed upon him the limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing bloodline of the gods.
That was when you went rogue on the gift that we were going to go in on together, and you just did it yourself?
I didn't go rogue on the gift. Somebody else actually went gift shopping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
All right.
She made me look.
I stand corrected. It's my fault.
Yeah, no, we're still. Now, if Brian's listening to this now, he's going to know. Way to go.
Oh, no, that I got fucking steamrolled on this thing? Yeah.
No, that I haven't done anything. I just thought we were in this as a team. We were going to order the BB more.
I thought we were on this.
I thought we were a team.
Yeah, I thought we were.
There is a team out there.
Tag teaming it.
It's like Candice LeRae without Joey Ryan. So, well, in that case, me and Joel will take turns writing I'm sorry 50 times on the blackboard.
Anyway, in short.
Yeah.
God bless Baby BK.
God bless Baby K. Braden, Bray, Wyatt Kelly.
Yep.
I still said his name should have been Braden Kyle O'Reilly Kelly. So they called him Beacock for short. It's a fucking sick nickname.
Well, there's always time for name changes, right? So.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. Mrs. BK.
Great job on her part. Great work.
She overrode the Beacock.
I don't really know where to go from there, Mikey. I really...
Let me tell you something. If you have Beacock, you don't have to flick the pod bean.
There it goes. There it goes.
Wrapping that up.
All right. That seems like that's going to be it. So I'm going to throw this out there right now. I'm throwing down the punk card, as it were. All right. We're gonna wrap this podcast up.
Yeah, wrapping it.
We're gonna social media the crap out of this thing. All right. I want links posted on the Facebook, on the Twitter. We're gonna put it out.
Quick, speaking of Twitter, we have this awesome app called Periscope. Periscope on Twitter. Anytime we live broadcast, we live anything, it automatically links to our Twitter. You click the link, or if you download the Periscope app and you follow us on Periscope, I know because I follow the Suicide Girls. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, wow, he follows a bunch of naked chicks with tattoos. And yeah, every time they turn on a phone, I get an alert. Gives me something to do at work for 9.5 hours at a clip. Besides getting... Never mind.
Hey, man, you gotta earn that pay somehow.
I do. I do the best I can. But the Periscope app is cool. You know, it's you can watch whatever we're broadcasting. Since we're going to be at the Ring of Honor show, we're going to be at the Evolve show, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up on Periscope. And just us, you know, being charming and witty and overachieving and
that's what we do.
Yeah.
Wait, overachieving?
Yeah.
You mean underachieving?
No, I mean I probably shouldn't have gotten this far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
So, but anyway, and Twitter and Facebook and
Instagram. We're gonna put it on the Twitter. We're gonna put it on the Facebook. I think we're gonna get it on some forums. We're gonna shop it to some networks.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with this podcast.
We're taking the podcast on the road again soon too. We're going to be venturing westward.
Yes.
Into the city.
Into Brooklyn, as it were.
Yeah, into Brooklyn for sure. So, yeah, you got all the social networks. Hopefully it gets posted on Twitter once in a fucking while. But
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I feel good.
It's all going to be out there tomorrow for everybody to listen to and hopefully appreciate.
Hopefully, you know. Yeah. On that note, I guess it's the Enforcer, the Stallion, Hunter. Who else really? I mean, do you think is here? Do you think is there anybody else listening?
No, I think we're good.
That's well.
Sophia Bush, is she on that show?